Lynn, Namaskar. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. The former Deputy Prime Minister and BJP stalwart L.K. Advani will be conferred with the Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award in the country. Prime Minister Modi congratulates Advani, says his contribution to the development of India is monumental. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches multiple infrastructure projects worth over 68,000 crore rupees in Odisha and says the projects will benefit the last person standing in the queue. The U.S. forces have carried out retaliatory strikes in Syria and Iraq in response to Sunday's drone attack on Jordan military base. Iraq condemns U.S. strikes, calls it a violation of sovereignty. And Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah rips through England's first innings as the visitors are bundled out for 253 runs on day 2 of the second test at Visakhapatnam. Our lead story, India's former Deputy Prime Minister and veteran BJP leader Lal Krishna Advani will receive the country's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. Taking to social media site X, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, and I quote, "I am very happy to share that Shri L.K. Advani ji will be conferred the Bharat Ratna. I also spoke to him and congratulated him on being conferred this honor. One of the most respected statesmen of our times. His contribution to the development of India is monumental. His is a life that started from working at the grassroots to serving the nation as our Deputy Prime Minister. He distinguished himself as our Home Minister and I&B Minister as well. His parliamentary interventions have always been exemplary, full of rich insights. Advani ji's decades-long service in public life has been marked by an unwavering commitment to transparency and integrity, setting an exemplary standard in political ethics. He has made unparalleled efforts towards furthering national unity and cultural resurgence. The conferring of the Bharat Ratna on him is a very emotional moment for me. I will always consider it my privilege that I got countless opportunities to interact with him and learn from him." And Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the BJP leader L.K. Advani's contribution in the development of India. L.K. Advani was first the Home Minister and then later the Deputy Prime Minister of India from 1999 to 2004.
आज देश ने अपने एक महान सपूत पूर्व उप प्रधानमंत्री लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी को भारत रत्न देने का भी निर्णय लिया है। भारत के उप प्रधानमंत्री, गृह मंत्री एवं सूचना प्रसारण मंत्री के रूप में और दशकों तक एक निष्ठावान, जागरूक सांसद के रूप में आदरणीय आडवाणी जी ने देश की जो सेवा की है वो अप्रतिम है। आडवाणी जी का ये सम्मान इस बात का प्रतीक है कि राष्ट्र की सेवा में अपना जीवन खपाने वालों को राष्ट्र कभी भुलाता नहीं है। मेरा सौभाग्य रहा कि लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी का स्नेह, उनका मार्गदर्शन मुझे निरंतर मिलता रहा है। मैं आदरणीय आडवाणी जी के दीर्घायु होने की कामना करता हूं और उन्हें ओडिशा की इस महान धरती से समस्त देशवासियों की तरफ से बहुत-बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
India's Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Anurag Thakur, congratulated the veteran leader L.K. Advani. In a tweet, he wrote, and I quote, "I extend my sincerest wishes to Shri L.K. Advani ji on being conferred with the prestigious Bharat Ratna for his decades-long service to the nation and the public at large. A stalwart statesman, his monumental contributions have left an indelible mark on the trajectory of Bharat's development, leaving an enduring legacy in the realms of politics and cultural unity. His unwavering dedication to public service, spanning from grassroots engagements to serving as our Deputy Prime Minister and holding notable positions in the Union Cabinet, including I&B Ministry, exemplifies his strong belief in the freedom of expression, the role of media in nation building, and lifelong commitment to the welfare of the nation. With his valuable insights and wisdom, he brought forward profound understanding of the nuanced intricacies of governance in Parliament, setting standards of integrity and transparency. This well-deserved Bharat Ratna, conferred under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, serves as a poignant acknowledgement of a national hero's life devoted to the service of the nation. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated multiple projects worth over 68,000 crore rupees in Odisha on Saturday. The projects were inaugurated during a public program in Sambalpur city of the state. The projects were linked to energy, coal, connectivity, railways, and more. PM Modi also flagged off the Sonepur-Puri weekly passenger train, which will improve connectivity for rail passengers in the region. And while addressing the public gathering in Sambalpur city of Odisha state, the Prime Minister lauded these projects and said they will benefit the last person in the queue.
आज ओडिशा की विकास यात्रा के लिए बहुत ही अहम दिन है। मैं ओडिशा के लोगों को इन विकास प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। इसमें शिक्षा, रेल, रोड, बिजली, पेट्रोलियम से जुड़ी अनेक परियोजनाएं शामिल हैं। इन परियोजनाओं का लाभ ओडिशा के गरीब, मजदूर, कर्मचारी, दुकानदार, व्यापारी, किसान, यानी समाज के सब वर्गों को इसका लाभ होगा।
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the Commonwealth Attorneys and Solicitors General Conference 2024 on Saturday. The conference was inaugurated in New Delhi. The conference's theme is cross-border challenges in justice delivery, focusing on crucial legal and justice issues. Let's look at this report.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Commonwealth Legal Education Association, Commonwealth Attorneys and Solicitors General Conference 2024 at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi on Saturday. The theme of the conference is cross-border challenges in justice delivery and will deliberate on important issues pertaining to law and justice like judicial transition and the ethical dimensions of legal practice, executive accountability and revisiting modern-day legal education. While addressing the event, PM Modi highlighted India's special relationship with the African Union.
India has a special relationship with the African Union. We are proud that the African Union became a part of the G20 during India's presidency. This will go a long way in addressing the aspirations of the people of Africa.
Expressing concern about the challenges posed by cryptocurrency and cyber threats, Prime Minister underscored the need to rethink, reimagine and reform, including modernizing legal systems, making the system more flexible and adaptable.
The rise of cryptocurrency and cyber threats are posing new challenges. 21st century challenges cannot be fought with a 20th century approach. There is a need to rethink, reimagine and reform. This includes modernizing legal systems that deliver justice. This includes making our systems more flexible and adaptable.
PM Modi also stressed on the legal reform undertaken by the government.
India is also modernizing laws to reflect the present realities. Now, the 3 new legislations have replaced more than 100-year-old colonial criminal laws. Earlier, the focus was on punishment and penal aspects. Now, the focus is on encouraging justice. Therefore, citizens have a sense of assurance rather than fear.
The event was also attended by Union Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal and Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. This conference witnessed the participation of attorney generals and solicitors from the Commonwealth nations spanning the Asia-Pacific, Africa and the Caribbean, along with various international delegations. The conference serves as a unique platform by offering a forum for interaction among different stakeholders in the Commonwealth legal fraternity. It also includes an exclusive roundtable conference tailored for attorneys and solicitors general, aiming to develop a comprehensive roadmap to address the challenges in legal education and transitional justice delivery. Siddharth Bharadwaj's report, TD India.
India's Minister of State for Electronics, IT, Skills, Entrepreneurship, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, launched the Digital India Future Labs for catalyzing the next generation electronic system design and Triple IT Delhi. The minister outlined the significance of future design to catalyze the next generation of electronic systems designed for the future of innovation and R&D in India.
India's technology and innovation ecosystem has grown rapidly and has expanded in many areas that range from the India DPI, the consumer internet, and we have more than 100,000 startups and over 112 unicorns. We have certainly made a mark recently with electronics manufacturing. And then of course we have launched semiconductor, and you have seen many semiconductor design startups. One of the last pieces in which India wants to surge ahead with its startups is what we call the next wave of startups and innovation, which will include electronic system design.
And speaking on the interim budget, the Union Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, also said that there is a lot of talent in India, and the youngsters who want to get into things like semiconductors and quantum computing can do so. And to support this, the interim budget provides for $12 billion of funding for research and innovation.
The Honorable Prime Minister has spoken very clearly. This budget provides for 1 lakh crores, which is $12 billion of funding, which will be even increased because of the seed capital nature of that funding, to be a large amount of capital that will be available to startups and to Indian companies that are interested in creating next generation innovation and research.
The Indian Navy today commissioned its latest survey vessel, Sandhya Yak. This is in the Indian Ocean, in the South Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh attended the ceremony. The vessel is designed indigenously. The primary role of the ship is to carry out full-scale hydrographic surveys of ports, harbours, navigational routes and deep seas towards enabling safe marine navigation. Sandhya Yak has, in fact, delivered to the Indian Navy. It was delivered to the Indian Navy on the 4th of December after completing a rigorous and comprehensive trial program both in the harbour and at sea. The ship reincarnated in its present avatar from the erstwhile Sandhya Yak was decommissioned on the 4th of June 2021. Now, still to come here on DD India Live. The US forces carry out retaliatory strikes in Syria and Iraq in response to Sunday's drone attack on Jordan military base. North Korea test fires cruise missiles and new land-to-air missiles. This is along the western coastline. And India's digital payment system, the UPI, is now accessible at Paris's Eiffel Tower.
We are taking up a very big challenge that has emerged for the international community at large. This is the threats to maritime security. What is India doing about it? What is the rest of the world doing about it? And what is the way ahead to make the high seas safe and secure for all?
The Navy is the best tool for exercising India's foreign policy, mainly because the Navy doesn't have borders. You come out of 12 nautical miles the territorial water, you are in the world. Navy's nearest neighbor on the west coast is the Arab Peninsula. We don't have any land in between. So we deal with them on a daily basis. All these you will find whenever you have a bilateral or multilateral, the first thing that happens is the maritime security side.
You're watching DD India Live. My name is Mark Lynn. Days after a drone attack in Jordan killed 3 American soldiers, the U.S. carried out retaliatory strikes in Iraq and Syria. The U.S. military said that these strikes were carried out against 85 targets linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and militia that it backs. A total of 7 locations, 4 in Syria and 3 in Iraq, were struck. The targets included command and control centers, rockets, missiles, and drone storage facilities, as well as logistics and munition supply chain facilities. The U.S. struck facilities of the Quds Force, which is the foreign unit of the Revolutionary Guard. Now, notably, the operation, in fact, used long-range B-1 bombers that flew from the United States. It is not yet clear if any militants were killed in the strike. In a statement, the U.S. President Joe Biden said that these strikes were carried out at his direction and that they will continue at times and places of the U.S.'s choosing. He added that Washington does not seek conflict in West Asia or anywhere else in the world, but it will respond if any American is harmed. Meanwhile, the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin also issued a statement saying that the Biden administration had directed additional actions to hold the IRGC and affiliated militias accountable for their attacks on the U.S. and coalition forces. The strikes have triggered a war of words between the U.S. and Iraq. The Iraqi military said that the strikes violate Iraq's sovereignty. They added that the strikes pose a threat that could lead Iraq and the region into dire consequences, and that their outcomes will have severe implications on the security and stability in Iraq and the surrounding region. Washington has said that it informed the Iraqi government ahead of the strikes. Meanwhile, the U.S. imposed sanctions on Iran's ballistic missile and drone procurement programs. Washington also placed sanctions on 6 officials of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This is the Cyber Electronic Command Unit of it, citing malicious cyber activities against critical infrastructure of the United States and elsewhere. Sanctions also targeted 4 Iran and Hong Kong-based companies involved in providing materials and technology to Iran's ballistic missile and drone programs, as well as a Hong Kong-based firm for selling Iranian commodities to Chinese entities. A U.S. judge has postponed former President Donald Trump's trial on federal charges that he sought to overturn the 2020 election results. The delay stems from an appeal by Trump on claims that he is immune from prosecution for official actions taken while he was president. The judge did not set a new date for the trial, which was scheduled to begin next month. Supporters of Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol on the 6th of January 2020 after he had lost the presidential election to Joe Biden. Amid a growing clash around the migration situation at the U.S.-Mexico border, the Texas National Guard officers continued to put up razor wire on Friday. The wiring is to deter them from crossing into the state. The Eagle Pass has become a flashpoint between the White House and Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott over federal and state powers to deal with illegal immigration. North Korea on Saturday test-fired cruise missiles and new land-to-air missiles along its western coastline. This affirms a series of missile launches within a span of just over a week, emphasizing the intended bolstering of defense capabilities. The recent launch on Friday marked the fourth instance of Pyongyang deploying these missiles. Farmers have blocked several border crossings between Belgium and the Netherlands. Meanwhile, France's biggest farmers' union, they too have suspended their road blockades, for now that is, after the government in Paris announced new measures for the agriculture sector. After days of debate, the lower house of Argentina has approved the President Javier Milei's disputed reform bill in a vote on Friday, paving the way for a decisive vote in the Senate. The controversial reform package was approved on the vote of 144 votes in favor, 109 against. The reforms that make up the bill include the privatization of state entities, measures to enable reductions in generous state subsidies, as well as the extension of some executable powers. Protests between leftist groups and the police also broke out on Friday to rally against Milei's economic reform bill. So what's happened is that the police, in fact, tried to get control, and the sloganeers were chanting slogans that compared Milei to military dictatorship. The Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel sacked the economy minister Alejandro Gil on Friday as the controversy over price hike measures continued to grow. The Council of State has appointed the central bank president Joaquim Alonso to replace Gil. Gil had advocated for the unpopular plan to raise prices for many government subsidies and schemes. He has long been criticized for his mismanagement or his management of the country's near bankrupt economy. The Turkish President Erdogan has named the Deputy Central Bank Governor Fatih Karahan as the new central bank governor. Karahan's appointment came hours after the bank's first-time female chief, Hafize Gaye Ekran, announced her resignation on Friday, citing a campaign against her and her family. Fatih Karahan worked as an economist at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York for almost a decade. India's digital payment system, the Unified Payments Interface, or UPI, is now accessible at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The UPI was launched at the iconic monument during India's Republic Day reception on Friday. And with this step forward towards global reach, in fact, India's tourists can now conveniently book their trips using online payment mechanism while visiting the Eiffel Tower. The international aim of the National Payments Corporation of India joined hands, in fact, with the French e-commerce and proximity payments firm, that's the platform Lira, to facilitate the acceptance of UPI payments in Europe, starting with the Eiffel Tower. And Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi took to X on Friday, formerly known as Twitter, to express his delight about the remarkable step of the Indian UPI being launched at France's Eiffel Tower. He said, "It was great to see the Indian UPI become more prevalent on the global platform, and it was a significant move in encouraging digital payments and nurturing stronger global ties." The Indian Prime Minister addressed the Pali Sansad Khel Mahakumbh via video message. He congratulated the participants from various states for showcasing their remarkable sporting talents. The Prime Minister emphasized on strengths of sports and the role in personal development.
खेलों की एक बहुत बड़ी ताकत ये भी होती है कि खेल युवाओं को बहुत सी बुराइयों से बचाकर रखते हैं। खेलों में इच्छा शक्ति मजबूत होती है, एकाग्रता बढ़ती है, हमारा फोकस क्लियर रहता है, चाहे ड्रग्स का जाल हो, दूसरे पदार्थों की लत हो, जो खिलाड़ी हैं वो इन सब से दूर रहता है। इसलिए खेल व्यक्तित्व के विकास में भी बड़ी भूमिका निभाते हैं।
On to sports now. The Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah ripped through the English first innings on the second day of the second test at Visakhapatnam to give India a 143-run lead. Now, Bumrah took 6 wickets for 45 runs as the visitors were bundled out for 253. In the first innings, Kuldeep Yadav bagged 3 wickets. Zach Crawley notched up a brisk half-century. Crawley slammed 76 runs and Ben Stokes contributed 47. Now, apart from that, not one of the batters made a significant contribution. And in fact, the Indian openers were 28 without loss in their second innings when stumps were drawn. India has taken a 2-0 lead against Pakistan in the Davis Cup Group 1 World Group Payoff match in Islamabad on Saturday. In the first singles, Ramkumar Ramanathan defeated Aisam ul Haq Qureshi in a grueling 3-set match. Ramanathan displayed resilience and determination to secure a 6-7, 7-6, 6-love victory after losing the first set. In the second singles match, Sriram Balaji overcame Akil Khan in straight sets. He won 7-5, 6-3 to give India a 2-0 lead on the opening day. India will take on Pakistan in the remaining 2 singles and doubles matches on Sunday. And in their last meeting in Pakistan, India had emerged 4-0 winners. This has way back in 1964, in fact. That's it then in this edition of DD India Live. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lynn from all of us in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.